Hello and welcome to Signals Hi-Fi. Today we're going to have a talk about Linn speakers. Linn have reasonably recently just released a new lineup of speakers consisting of the two-way stand mount 119 and the three-way floor standing 150. Today we're going to primarily concentrate on the two-way stand mounts because I want to run through some of the features and benefits of these loudspeakers. So here we are. The Linn 119, relatively compact two-way bass reflex rear ported system. I think it's a 9 litre internal volume, 160mm Nexel coated mid bass unit and a 19.5mm Sonomex HF unit. Nexel coating is a sort of more modern method of doping the cone, which in all honesty is much more efficient and aesthetically much more pleasing rather than the old brush strokes you used to get on some of the old speakers. The starting price point on the 119s is £2,500. They're available in 4 finishes, which is walnut, oak, satin black and satin white. Now that's quite stiff competition at that price point. There's plenty of two-way stand mount loudspeakers around that feature fantastic performance at that price point, but these have a very interesting upgrade path using Linn's exact digital crossover network. So let's have a chat about that. Okay, so we're going to use our Linn Select DSM, which I will take into the workshop, remove the casework and add a second amp module to the system. We've opted to use organic DAC, so we've got organic DACs in both amplifier modules. Once I've applied a second amp module and reattached the casework, basically the hardware of the DSM is done. What we need to move on now is to the loudspeakers. So first of all, you need to remove the 160mm mid bass driver and a couple of pieces of acoustic wadding, or baff as Linn call it, to get access to the passive crossover board. Once you have access to that, it's fairly simple. You need to disengage the wires that link the terminal posts to the crossover and then disengage the wires that go from the crossover to the drive units and switch it over, which is effectively bypassing the passive crossover network. The next thing you need to do is undo the binding posts to remove the link bars which connect obviously LF and HF together. Linn provide a special tool to do this. You can unscrew the binding posts, remove the link bars, put them somewhere safe, reapply the terminal posts. Essentially, once the mid bass driver is replaced and you've carefully replaced the internal acoustic wadding, making sure you've got that back the way it should be, basically the speakers are ready for active use. Software, relatively easy to set up. Open the Linn app, work your way through the advanced settings and configure the DSM exactly the way it needs to be for active 119 operation. So hardware has been adjusted, fitted, modified, crossovers are done, extra amp board is in place, software has been tailored specifically for this configuration of speakers. The speaker cable we're going to use is Linn's own K200 loudspeaker cable, and we need 4 runs of it. Obviously we're going left HF, left LF and right LF and HF. Just a piece of advice here, we always connect up the bass drivers first, just in case something isn't right or the settings aren't right yet. Sending high frequency to bass drivers is never going to cause any problems. Sending low frequency to tweeters could be problematic. So we're just going to check everything, connecting the bass drivers up first. If we're happy with those, then we'll connect the HF units and you'll have a full two-way active Linn system. So let's now talk how the sound quality has changed. So with any passive loudspeaker, you have a circuit board with crossover components, inductors, capacitors and resistors. All of those are really a block in the signal path that if you can get round those and run it actively directly from the unit into the drive units, it can improve things. And in this instance, it definitely has. It sounds to me like you're suddenly listening to a more powerful amplifier. There's a lot more drive, a lot more space around the instruments, higher levels of detail, better clarity. Everything has been improved. Now, I've got to openly admit we are using organic DACs and we have, taken this quite far up the upgrade path, but it was worthwhile doing just to prove to ourselves that bypassing a crossover is really quite an interesting way of doing things. And in our opinion, it certainly has worked. It's definitely improved the synergy between what were already very good sounding loudspeakers in passive guys have now been lifted a level. So there may be stiff competition at that price point for two-way stand mount loudspeakers, but these ones do offer something very special in terms of a clear, defined, and very noticeable upgrade path. So I hope this little video has helped. Take care, guys. I'll catch up with you soon.